Shuhan from the Educational Department, and I major in Global and International Citizenship Education. And today I'm going to give a 10-minute presentation about my dissertation proposal, and 5 minutes for you if you have any inquiries about that. And my question and topic is, how do Chinese overseas students at one UK university think of global citizenship? And my presentation is divided into 2 parts. The first one is to identify the 2 items. What is Chinese overseas students in my dissertation, and what is global citizenship? And I'm going to give the reason for choosing this topic. And then I will say what is my research questions are, and my methods and my methodology. First, what are these Chinese overseas students? Actually, they're postgraduates who are studying 1 year full-time, 12 courses at one UK university, just like us. And what is global citizenship? First, I would like to say what is citizenship. According to TOR in 1997, it identifies the group of citizens who are enjoying limited rights within the context of a given city. So it is okay to say that we are the citizens of York, and it's also okay to say we are the citizens of our hometown. It's about we have the rights, although it's limited, but we have our sense of identity as one kind of citizen. And it is also what Peter in 1999 said about citizenship entires the ethical elements of please see the underlying words, responsible behavior towards and obligations to one's fellow citizens and the state or community which provide us with the citizenly status. So it's not only about the rights, it's also about our obligation or our responsibility. It's kind of duties. So we are like citizens. We can enjoy certain rights, of course, but we have to do our duties. And we have our citizenly status, which means the identity. And citizenship is about what I have said about rights, duties, and our identities. And here in 1997, also, he divided the citizenship into 2 kinds. The first one is below the state level, which is municipal or local allegiance, which means loyalty. It can also be called a sense of identity. So it is okay to say that we are the citizens of one country. For example, we're British citizens, we are Chinese citizens, but it is totally okay to say we don't feel so British or we don't feel so Chinese. And that's below the state level. And above the state level is world citizenship. That's what I am interested in. Actually, there are several things that we can describe about world citizenship. It cannot only be called about world, but also cosmopolitan or international or global. And I am choosing the global citizenship because it's most widely used one in the literatures. And so what is global citizenship? And we can see from the picture that it is the people, the citizens, who are going beyond the nations. They're just like on a global village, and we are now living in a global village. We go beyond our geographic boundaries and we come here, just like in this class or in this presentation. And how does it come from? It's all from the globalization. People would think that globalization is only about like free trading and outsource to other countries so the products are cheaper, but I think it's more about like cultural communications, because people have got more chance to talk with each other, although they're not in that country, because we just jump out of the countries and come to one stage, the global stage. And just as I have mentioned that if citizens have their duties, have their rights, have their identity, then what is global citizens? They have got their new identity and they have got their new rights. What are the rights of global citizens? Like us, we are global citizens, and we have the right, like freedom of movement. We can go anywhere without passport. Of course, you can't go after you commit a crime or something. It's illegal, but we can do that most of the time. But have you aware of our duties? And that's what I am interested in. So what are the duties? And what people, global citizens, think their duties, the rights are? And why I'm choosing the Chinese people? Because from the UK CISA, it's actually the UK, the Council for International Student Affairs, From these statistics, we can see that the top 10 senders or the postgraduates who send people to UK. And the first one is China. What does that mean? It means that the population is 100 more times more than people in Vatican. So it's 100 more of one nation. So I would like to start with the Chinese people because I think that if I go with the largest number, I can just continue my study. Of course, it's not in this dissertation, but I think I can just continue my study with the other people. And now I am studying with the Chinese people, Chinese overseas students. And my research questions. The first one is, what is the responsibility of being a global citizen according to the Chinese overseas students? And how much have the Chinese overseas students acted as part of their actions as a global citizens? And to what extent do Chinese overseas students feel like global citizens? And is there any difference between the Chinese overseas students before and after they come to the UK? And my methods, first I'm going to use questionnaires, and there are 40 lucky postgraduates, and they can finish the 20 questions, the questionnaire, which composed of 15 closed questions and 5 open ones. I'm using this because, as Joe Ham in 2007 said, it's cheap for us, for students, and it's quick, and it's anonymous, because people don't need to worry about what they are saying about bad things and they'll not be found. So I can collect the quantitative data from that. But there's something I can't do with the questionnaire, especially about the feelings and attitudes. So I'm going to use interviews. It's 5 to 10 interviewees from the 40 postgraduates, and I will have a 1-to-1 interview with them. It's same structure, and it's also continuous 15 to 20 minutes. It can be done face to face, or it can be done by the videos. It's fine. Because I think in this way, I can get rich data. I can dig more things, more information from the interviews. And it's good for asking the why questions, especially when people say something like, what do you think of that and why? And you can't do that in questionnaires. And I think it's good for asking people's attitudes and feelings to those questions. And that's my reference, just if you have any interest in that. And thank you. Do you have any questions? Any questions you want to ask? If not, I can't answer.
How are you gonna? You said you're gonna find out if there's any differences before and after people come to the UK. How are you gonna? Are you gonna ask people who haven't yet come to the UK, or is it gonna be what they thought before and what they thought after? Whether they're gonna be two separate groups of people?
Well, I think the first one you mentioned is better for me because I was thinking about 3 or 4 months ago, if it's okay to do an interview, how they feel at that time and how they feel now. I think it's better, it's more objective, but I didn't do that because of many reasons. So I would like to choose the interviewees and asking how they feel like when they come to the UK and how they feel now. Do they feel more international or do they feel more local? This way.
You mentioned how many previous studies in this particular question, research question about Chinese overseas students. How do they think about their global citizenship? How about previous studies in this area?
Okay, previous study, I think from now I don't find so many previous study about the Chinese overseas students, but there are about other international people. They would like to define the global citizenship as a feeling. It's not an obligation, it's just like a feeling. Do you feel international? So it's really vague. And I just found that there is not so many articles, like laws about what a global citizen should do. I found one just like in the United Nations, there were some kind of laws to protect people's human rights, but not about how to be a good citizen. If you don't be a good global citizen, then you will be fired or you will be put into prison. There's no So I would like to think it's kind of feeling. That's why I would like to choose the topic is how do they think, how do they feel like.
Can we go to your research questions?
Yep.
So for the second question,
Yes.
how much have the children's services students acted as global citizens? How are you going to answer this question?
I think it's really hard, and I still haven't. I'm doing the questionnaires about this one. How do they do, or how have they acted as one? And I found in the literature review that the people will think that there are some kind of items, such as do you feel angry towards the racial discrimination, or do you think it's okay, it's none of my business? Or something about environment. Have you been a good traveler when you are going to other places? Do you think it's just their responsibility, or do you think it's what you should do as a global citizen? So I think this might be okay for the questions.
So you're going to have their stated actions and stated feelings or attitudes?
I think it's okay to do feelings as well as the actions.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done this, or do you have a feeling that it's what you should do? Yeah, about the actions, I think I will ask more about have you done this kind of things or not?
And are you going to compare those actions and their attitudes, or why do you compare the attitudes and actions?
Well, as I've just mentioned that it's about citizenship is about rights, duties, and identities. And identity is is it your real identity, or is kind of arrogance, or it means that is it kind of sense of feeling. Like rights, you have the right to do something. Have you done that? You have the responsibility to do something. Have you done that? And do you feel something? So that's about feelings. That's three part of that.
Yeah, because you've got the last question, the differences between the attitude before coming to the UK and after. So probably it would be nice also to see how much they think about that and how much they behave about that, in terms of this.
Oh yeah, I haven't thought about that. I think it's really good.
Any more questions? No. Thank you very much. So 1 minute for